We are back. We are back. After about an hour or so break, I had an appointment. Let's react to the trades that I missed. Now, of course, the Yankees editors clipped this, or editor clipped this. The New York Yankees got David Bender. I wanted the Tigers to get him. He's one of the few guys that is elite. He's having a better season than than Mason Miller, and you'd expect maybe the Pirates could get a Mason Miller like return, even though Miller has a bunch of years of control with him. And you didn't think the Yankees would pull off this trade because there was reports saying they did not want to give up a big prospect. And in years past, they've been very reluctant to give up a top prospect. And the Yankees, like, they said this year they don't want to give up a top prospect. And in top prospect, and in years past, they haven't given up top prospects for the guys that they've wanted in the Yankees. In the Yankees, they really didn't want to give up a top five prospect. And like in the Yankees, they really did not look like they were gonna make like a huge splash. The Yankees. So you think that so you think that the Yankees would not give up a top five prospect for this, but on the other hand, the Pirates, they need some players now because they got a bunch of young minor league players for their on their trades, a bunch of single A players, but they need young, promising MLB players that are close to the MLB level. Maybe try to contend before Skeens leaves. And also, he's a rental too. So even though he has like a 2.37 ERA, you think that you think that maybe they're not as good as sellers as other teams, and maybe like they'd get fleeced, and you think maybe they'd not get that interesting of a player, or maybe they'd not even get a top 10 prospect for him. You just need some interesting high value players, maybe two or three players. And for the Yankees, you don't want to give up a top five prospect. And this is one of the top relievers on the market. So you think there's a conflict of interest, but both got what they wanted. The Yankees gave up their number eight prospect and another guy that's close to the MLB level for David Bednar. And even though he's the number eight prospect, he's very good. He's been doing very good in the MLB, and he's a MLB ready player who's also a catcher who could replace the Pirates' Joey Bart, who is on the trade block too. That's a huge get. He has a 2.37 ERA. That is absolutely huge. Yeah, that's just massive. Rafael Flores is one of the players too. Yeah, that's Rafael Flores. I just need to see the full deals. Yeah, he's torn up Triple A, Double A, and Triple A, and is a top shelf framer. He's a very good catcher, and he can hit too. And Perez too. Just like I'm gonna look at his stats, but it seems here they got a player just like the Phillies did, or just like the Phillies, just like they got a player here. It looks like they got a player here just like the Twins did, who is at a position of need, and who is really good in the minor leagues. And most importantly, this is the most important part, a guy who has production. If you're going to get a low end, not top five prospect in a guy's system for a really good player, you want that player that you get to at least have upside to where you say, hey, maybe he's ranked lower, but he could be underrated because of how good he's playing. Well, he's tearing it up. Also, the two other players too. They got the number 14 prospect too, which is also two top 15 prospects alone for Bednar would be good because he's a rental. Getting anything really good for a rental. This is better than the Eugenio Suarez trade for the Pirates. And the Pirates also didn't have much leverage here. Sure, you'd think maybe he's worth a top five prospect in some eyes because of his elite status. But that the thing was that like other sellers, even though they've been getting great value, some sellers have not been getting the great value. And and you'd think that, hey, maybe the Pirates are going to undersell because even though a lot of other teams have been getting top five prospects for these guys, the there's a chance that a guy like Bender in a rental, there's a very easy chance you could just get a couple, maybe low end, maybe one top 15 prospect and another top 20 prospect. And the top 15 prospect is like super far away from the MLB or is not even doing good. But they got a guy who's very intriguing. I think he could be a top 100 MLB prospect in a couple of years. No, he probably could reach the MLB this year and at a position of need too. And also, like, is very good, and their number 14 prospect too. They probably could have done a little bit better, but also that means that the other guys weren't offering as much. I don't know why Mason Miller got a bunch, but it means that this is the best offer, which means the Yankees had more leverage, and the Yankees needed this. But because the Pirates are good at negotiating, it seems like even though they can't get a top five prospect guy, they did the best they could, and they got a number eight and number 14. This is good for the Pirates because they got a guy who has MLB production or who has a lot of minor league production in a position that they need. Who's not just any top 10 prospect or top 15 prospect that you see in these types of deals who are sometimes like eh. No, he could very legitimately be talking about one of the most underrated prospects in the minor leagues, and they also got another top 15 prospect. Just getting two top 15 prospects alone would be good enough for me for this sell, but they also got the number 8 prospect who's a catcher. It's a very good deal. You could say he's worth a top 5, but in terms of the market, in terms of rentals, and in terms of what the Yankees were willing to give up, it's a good deal. Now, you could say, well, just trade with another guy who's not the Yankees if you think he's worth more and that's the best the Yankees are going to give up. Well, if they took the Yankees deal, that probably means that's the best that they're offering. I hate to break it to you. And for this being the best that they're offering and the Yankees probably knowing, actually, I wouldn't say the Yankees knew, but the likelihood that, that's the best offer they're going to get, I think the Pirates did a good job at hiding that this was the best offer available and to the Yankees and getting the most that they could out of a rental because if this is what he's worth, they were probably the Pirates were probably gonna get worse than this. But even though they didn't have the leverage with a rental and time running out on the trade deadline, they worked it out and they got a number 8 and number 14 prospect. Great job for the Pirates. They have done very, very good in this. And yes, I just think they got very good value. And the Yankees, even though I just said these guys are really, really good for that, it is a bit of a loss for the Yankees farm system. I do think this guy could have maybe helped. But again, most teams, if you're not like stingy on the prospect like the Yankees are, would give up a top five, maybe top three prospect for an elite guy like this. This guy's a 2.37 ERA, so I think just getting, even if they gave up the moon for him, maybe not the moon, but if they gave up close for the to the moon for him, I would say it's still a good deal because the Yankees, they're always a World Series contender. Getting a bullpen arm like this is huge, and even though they give up two top 15 prospects, the the fact that they didn't give up a top five prospect and the fact that they still got this trade off, even though all MLB teams know they're not going to give up one of their elite prospects, is massive because they already have a catcher and they got a closing pitcher now. This was their biggest need. They also did a good job leveraging because the Pirates probably knew that the Yankees needed this. But they got one of the best closers in the game for two guys who could be good, but they're not a part of the Yankees' future. I'll say this again. Just like for the Tigers trade for Finnegan, even though it's a top 15 prospect and it's good for the Pirates, it's not a part of their future, so it does not hurt the Yankees. And the fact that they were willing to stick by their no stingy prospects, their very stingy prospect stance and belief, and still get David Bednar is a huge get. Now, also, Freddie Fermin, I need to see that. I need to see Freddie Fermin. I might not give as big of a analysis for this one. Still having zero viewers. Let's see, what is his 648 OPS? I think it's a bit of a nothing burger. Giving up three players for him is kind of weird. Where's his actual batting stats? 648 OPS. He's never really been amazing in his career. He hasn't even 6'7". He hasn't even played that many games in his career. This is another trade editor. Maybe you can rewind a little bit. It depends who they gave up. Yeah, I don't think they gave up much. Even though they didn't give up much, the Royals still getting like two or three players for Freddie Fermin is a very good value for the Royals. I'd say I give it like a B for the Royals and like a C. I give it a C for the Padres. I give the Yankees an A and the Pirates an A. They both did very, very good. Now the Mets just got Cedric Mullins. I think again I'm gonna say kind of like the Jared Durant thing. I think he could be good in clutch situations, but he's obviously fallen off. I think he's a bit overrated just because of his 2021 season. I feel like this is a saturated market. I feel like they already have a center fielder, or I guess he can move to left or right field. But if they so low, I guess not a bad deal. I need to look at Cedric Mullins again. He's not been the greatest. Cedric Mullins. Again, like good power bat, but I mean, not the greatest. Who's Roman Gonzalez? Chandler Marsh. And the Yankees got. How are the Yankees doing this? I feel like the Yankees are having a great deadline because they. This is another trade. The Bird trade editor. They keep like getting all these players and they're not even paying that much for them. Like in terms of the Yankees stuff. This is kind of like what the Tigers are doing, but better because the Tigers are getting a bunch of washed old guys at a quantity, but they're getting quality guys at a quantity. I feel like if this guy's terrible, though, it's a bad trade because why would you trade to the Rockies for a guy who can make you worse? But if he's good, that's a great trade. Jake Bird. We still do not have any viewers. Oh, okay. Sorry, no, zero viewers. Who are 4.73, 3.45 fifth though. Yeah, probably. I think he's very smart trade. I feel like this is a smart trade by the Yankees. He's gonna do better in Coors Field. I still don't know who the. I can't imagine they gave up too much for Mean though. Oh, James Outman is going to the. The Dodgers didn't need that. I give it like a B plus for the Dodgers. I feel like that Stewart could still be a meh type of player, and for the Twins, I give it like a B plus. Getting a solid MLB. This guy could be like a starter if he keeps developing. That's a great trade for the Twins. Getting James Outman because he could be a good center fielder, maybe a piece for the future, but also maybe not a piece for the future if he continues to be below average. I feel like the Twins getting a high upside prospect would have been better because right now they're not really in the contending mode, and if they got a prospect, maybe save up for the future. So then a guy they got from that trade could end up contributing more when they're good, as opposed to James Outman kind of rotting away in a mediocre Twins team. Maybe he regresses a little bit. But also on the other hand, it's a decent MLB player. I give that a B plus on the Twins end. I feel like that's a bit of an overpayment for the Dodgers. They could have done better. But if Stewart keeps playing like how he does, that's a good trade for the Dodgers. Let's see, I got an ESPN notification. Wait, what? A top 10 prospect for that's a good brain move by the Yankees, but they're giving away trade pieces like candy now. I give it like a B plus for Jake Bird. That's a really good return for the Twins though, like if they get. Oh, he's in AAA though. How old is Outman? If he's like under 25, that's a great deal. James, 28. What's his contract though? I guess he's on the team for a few more years. That's a few years of team control. 20. Yeah, a good, decent year that year. I feel like it's a good move for the Twins, really good move. I still feel like they could have done maybe a little bit better and gotten a high end prospect, but just in this situation. But again, I'm gonna walk that back. Actually, I'd rather get I don't know, a 30-year-old out. You're just basically getting the same thing as Harrison Bader at most. But I feel like a guy, maybe if he sticks around for a few more years, that's a great return. Okay, I feel like getting a high prospect would be slightly better, but again, this in some ways to some people is better than that, because if you get a guaranteed and reliable, he's going to be at least below average in the MLB. And if the Twins somehow become contenders, that's a major win. I feel like if the Twins continue mediocrity and they just end up trading him away anyway, like they should have gotten a high end prospect. So that's not that great. But if they end up contending and he's a piece for that for a few more years, that's great. See, we still have not gotten any viewers, but that's okay. Oh yeah, the Jake Bird trade. That's an okay, good job by the Yankees. I like the player, but a little bit too much. But again, I can't complain. That number 10 prospect is not going to be much in the eyes of the Yankees' future plans. I just feel like it's a bit of a trade piece thingy. I'm gonna give it a high B plus because I feel like it's a really smart move with the fielding independent ERA. Rock Riggio. I want O'Hearn to go to the Tigers. I don't know why. Okay, that's the stuff I kind of missed out on. I guess I can actually react live again because I found that out at my appointment. Completely off of. Yeah, I don't want Carlos Correa either. Why would they? I feel like the Twins would definitely trade him. I feel like they're just gonna release him anyway. But I don't think anybody wants him. That's a great get by the Pirates though, and pretty good get by the Twins. I kind of want Rhino. Carlos Correa? What? Whoa! Yo, the actual if they give up two top 15 prospects. Okay, when I say that buyers spend too much, okay, editor clip this. When I say that buyers spend too much, just because buyers spend too much doesn't mean it matters. Because giving up two top 15 prospects, sure, you could say that's an overspend, but it doesn't affect their future. So in a way, every single trade that isn't like a top 100 prospect is like an A plus for the buyer. That's the way broken baseball is. It's not like the NFL where you give up a draft pick that could become a first rounder, or the NBA where you actually do player for player. It's minor leaguers, but I'm grading this based on the sense of based how the MLB works. If I give a team, let's say they gave up two top 10 prospects who are not in the MLB top 100, even though it's in theory a good trade for the buyer because it's not like they're going to be important to them, it's still more than what they should have paid for the MLB. So if I'd say it's a good get, if they, in terms of MLB, if they don't give up, in terms of the MLB trade deadline setting and scenario, if they don't give up two top 10 prospects or anything like that. But even if they do, it's still getting a guy, a bat like Carlos Correa, for for people who aren't going to be part of your future. Now the Twins, I think if they get anything off of this, it's good. I predict it's going to be like outside the top 30. That's crazy. Correa fell off, right? I feel like maybe the Astros are trying. I feel like if he regains form, this could be one of the greatest trades in the last 2 years or 3 years, 2 or 3 years. It could be one of the best trades in the last 2 or 3 years if he regains form. But I also feel like if he continues to bat bad, and if they give up like players who end up being good in the MLB for the Twins, that's a really bad. I feel like if any of the players they give up are like remotely like really interesting, kind of like the Twins or the Phillies thing, that's bad. Yeah, not. He was good last year though, but he's not very good this year. Yeah, 93 games. He's injury prone too. What's his contract looking like? If this is a lot of money, then it's bad. Let's see. He's signed until 2032, but there's a team option. Is he actually signed until 2032? That's crazy. Why would the Astros take on that contract? That's wild. Why? What? My live stream better not have ended. Third base for the Astros. That's a big name trade, but I feel like in value, it's not that big because he's not that good anymore. Wait, if the Twins ends up paying this, and that's not that. Yeah, I feel like if the Twins end up paying most of this as an L for, I still don't understand why. I know you're gonna let go of him anyway and stuff, but why do you trade people? Why do you trade people away to other teams if you're gonna end up paying the salary? You're basically paying for another player to win. But then again, I guess yeah, if this is a massive W for the Twins, if it takes off over half of the contract, like if they're not paying the majority of the contract, but if the Astros if they're paying like the majority of the contract, then it's a terrible trade. But if they're paying like 30% of it, it still depends what they give up, what they've given up. But it's that's a really good trade for the Astros and or a decent trade. Dang, Carlos Correa. That's crazy. Paredes is out for the season. I guess they needed that, but still. I remember when I wanted the Tigers to get him. That's huge. I don't know. Sorry for rambling, editor. This is improv, no script. Things get wild. Sheesh. Legacy. Venom. Why is Adolis Garcia trending? Yeah, why would anybody. The Twins have to be paying the majority, right? If the Twins pay the majority, I'd say if they get a decent enough return, it's like a okay for the Twins. You obviously don't want to ever trade away a player like his caliber, especially if you're just going to end up paying for it anyway for like a non-elite prospect. But that's what likely going to happen. Just throw him away because nobody wants him, and because of the money thing, you end up saving a little bit of money. So I'd say it's like a nothing burger for the Twins, depending on the prospects they get. And it's a win for the Twins if the Astros end up paying a lot for it. Jeez, Houston playing third base. He's gonna get injured though. I don't think this is a thing. Like Harrison Bader's performing better than him. Did Baseball Reference already update it? Let's see if they change it. I wonder if the Tigers are done. They're probably done because we're cheap and we're gonna make the excuse. Oh, we got a bunch of washed bullpen arms and Kyle Finnegan, so that means we don't have to spend anymore, right? We will be streaming until the end of the trade deadline now. I'm not gonna get any more viewers, but doesn't matter. This is actually fun. Okay, I like recording my other YouTube content, but it seems kind of more like a job than like a hobby almost, which is fair. Okay, if I can potentially earn money off this, like it's fair that it feels like a job. That's what it's supposed to be. I'm not gonna complain about that, and it's better than any other job. But like, I don't know. I feel like streaming like this it's fun because I don't have to plan for it. I can just say what's off the top of my head. I might do more improv videos, even though I guess they're harder to edit. But yeah. Sheesh. Other major league play, bro. The Astros overpaid. Wait. Wait. If the Astros got more major league players, then so so Twins, you're willing to you paid half of the contract anyway, so like what's the deal with shedding salary if this is your main goal? And you're willing to pay other major league players just to not pay him? Correa? Wait. So who's getting the major league players? This is a mega deal. What if it's a three-team deal? The Astros are not. I'm kind of scared. The Astros are coming for the one seed for the Tigers. I'm excited about the Tigers for once. I love watching my team. Sheesh. Sorry for the buffering, YouTube. Up that all. Up that all. Legacy. Venom. Y'all can hear me, right? Legacy. Venom. Mm. Third. Oh yeah, I forgot he signed for the Mets too before that. Okay, we know that he's playing third base. 7 freaking people have already said that. Basically talking to a brick wall right now. Now I actually know if this gets put into. Actually, no. Only my reactions to trades will be put in a video, so I'm basically talking to a brick wall right now. Hmm. I still like pretending that I'm talking to people though. It's cool. Broads in Atlanta. I would have streamed the whole 6 hours if I didn't have an appointment. Sorry, guys. We are bracking. What's bracking? Huh? I feel like this is gonna just because of his name. He's not as good as he used to be. You could say he just has one bad year. He's just not the same. He's had a lot of injuries. Maybe he goes on a Hoppy Buys type comeback, and it's a new. It's like it's a need, but I feel like it depends on how much they're paying. If the Twins have to send other major league players and they're paying most of their guys anyway, I again like I can't even say that's an L for the Twins. Like I said that earlier because if they're shedding salary, right, and they get other players too, it's better than just having him sitting around and stuff and paying more money for a team that's not contending because you're not going to buy anything free agency now, right, Twins? You're kicking it in the can. This is a full rebuild. So I think it's a win if they're not, if they pay like, let's say if they still paying like 30% of the contract. Let's say, okay, if the Astros have to pay like 30% or more of the contract. That's a okay win for the Twins. And if it's less than that, I'd say you could have done better. And if you get a bunch of throwaway prospects, okay, that's like an average, below average deal. But if you get some interesting prospects and you still have to pay most of it, that's really good. And if the Astros pay over 50% of it and the Twins don't give up another major league player, that's huge because you're basically shedding a bunch of salary for a player who's past his prime, and you also that's it for like, and you get a prospect too for like, and then you trade like away other major league players. Like I don't know what are the Astros doing unless they get actually good players. Whoa. Okay, there, editor. This is another trade. Uh, editor. This is another trade. Jesus Sanchez. The, I guess the Astros need to push in, but I feel like there's a way to do that without compromising your future. And usually, I don't care about compromising your future if it's to win now. I want the Tigers to blow all their farm system to win now, because we have Scoobo for sorry, for 2 years. But I feel like you need to do it for the right players. Do it for proven players. I feel like if you're paying a lot of the Correa contract, you're basically taking on contract salary for a past their prime guy. You probably could have picking up better third base. Like look at Carlos Correa's stats. Like 7 home runs. He's he's hitting two. He's a decent average hitter, but what's his WAR this year even? 0.1. Yep, 0.1 WAR. I think it's a big nothing burger. You're basically. It depends how much of the salary they have to take on. How good is Jesus Sanchez though? Oh, the Twins are going on a fire sale. Editor, this is another trade. This is gonna be wow. Okay, I need to see Jesus Sanchez first. The Marlins just sell off all. You got a. I want to be more light on the Marlins in my reactions because last year they got amazing deals last year. Last for the deadline they got amazing 740 op. I feel like they're doing the same mistakes that the Tigers are doing, but the Tigers when you can include this editor when they traded for all these past their prime guys and you're like, hey, that's not a good move. You're being too conservative. Blah blah blah. At least they didn't give up anything. Like the Astros would have to pay a significant amount of money for a player I don't even think makes them a World Series contender unless he does really good. Now, it also, I do have to give them credit. He could be good, but I don't think banking on him to return to form is going to do anything. Now, look at the Jesus Sanchez deal. He has 10 home runs in 86 games. He's hitting, hmm, guess not a bad deal if you don't give up a lot for it. Choose Danny Colibine. Yeah, I feel like the Twins need to do this a long time ago, and I'm saying they should have done it a long time ago because these players that the Twins are trading now, they're getting good deals for them, but it's not even like it's huge value, guys. Like a lot of these guys, like Carlos Correa, if you traded him last year, I know you were in playoff contention, so it didn't make sense. But imagine if they traded him last year while he was good. That would have been a lot more if they could have traded him. Same with like all these guys, like okay, I need to see Columbine. The Rangers need to do more, okay? The Rangers need to do more at the deadline. They've not done much. Columbine. How do you spell his name? Col Col Danny Columbine. 1.16 ERA. How many games has he? Huh? Wait, excuse me? Is this the trade of the trade? This is the trade of the year. What the heck? Only 40 games. This guy's elite. Has he made an all-star? What? Am I missing something? 31 innings pitched, 40 games, 1.16 ERA. How many years of control does he have? This is another trade editor. You can rewind a little bit back. Oh, he's a free agent next year. That's why. That's a great deal. Just don't. The Rangers also have a thin farm system, so if they can get him for really cheap, that's really, really good. Where's the returns, though? That's really good. Good trade for. I need to know the returns for the Carlos Correa and the other stuff, though. Feels sad that Carlos Correa is the big move later in the day. So much happened yesterday. YouTube, if you guys are enjoying this compilation video that my good editor has put together, subscribe, click like. We do all the stuff around here, a bunch of sports. For the 0 people watching my live stream, thank you. Oh my gosh, now it's starting to heat up. Astros trying to get C. I'm scared as a tech. If they get C, the Astros don't have that good of a farm system, so they're doing really good for what they have. Oh yeah, they shed more money just to not spend any. Okay, in theory, I'm not treating these with any team backgrounds, aka what I think their owner's gonna do, unless they're like the A's or like a more cheap team, or like the Pirates, like the Pirates. I don't know, like the Pirates. But I'm just saying on paper the Twins' moves look good. But if you're really looking at this, why are they setting all this salary and getting all these maybe interesting prospects to restart if they're just gonna not spend anything after that? They signed one free agent just to trade him this season. I want Merrill. The Tigers aren't gonna do anything else really. I mean, I can't complain that much. It could have been a lot worse, but I wanted a trade that would get me excited. There's not been a trade that the Tigers made that have gotten me really excited. Yeah, Jesus Sanchez. I kind of don't mind streaming. It's not that bad. I can turn this into like a after the deadline's over. If there's actually like a couple of viewers, I could turn it into like a Q&A thing. I'd happily do that, but I don't think I'm gonna have any viewers after 6 p.m. I'm gonna make it big one day. Reds. Yeah, I feel like the Red Sox buying would be good, but I feel like the Red Sox they're too chicken to get it done. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna give the Astros like a C minus unless they don't give up much prospects. I don't unless they don't shed a bunch of have to pay a bunch of it. I don't like this move for the Astros. I don't. Let's look at the replies. Maybe I don't have any ball knowledge. I'm open to change my opinion. I think these comments are funny. So, can we actually get a real like can we get a real like analysis of like the trade and not just a bunch of memes? Correa is terrible though. I am scared as a Tigers fan of this. It's gonna be hard. We beat them in the postseason last year, but still. Bro, he's trash though. I don't get this. If they didn't give up anything for it, I'm gonna give it like a B. Yeah. Oh wait, editor, another trade. Ryan O'Hearn. That's a great deal. That's a great. I, I s- I think it might be crazy for saying this, but I think they need one more deal to actually put them into a World Series contender because they're getting a bunch of good players, and Mason Mills is a really good player. But that still doesn't put them over the Dodgers. I think maybe another good player would be good. But yeah, this guy's good. I feel like the Padres didn't really need it that much though, which is why I think as long as they don't give up overpay like a bunch again, because I feel like they could have gone without Ryan O'Hearn, even though he's a very solid hitter. They could have gone without him, without giving up like a top five prospect for him, and depleting your trade market so you can't make any more trades, or like not having a prospect future because their farm system's already kind of skinned alive. Sorry you two for saying that. That was a figure of speech. Don't ban me. Uh, but yeah, if they didn't give up anything big, like if they do like a Phillies Harrison Bader deal, then I think that's a good trade. He's actually a very decent hitter. Ryan O'Hearn. I might be confusing him with the other O'Hearn. Wait. Is there two O'Hearns? Oh, Ryan O'Hearn. Missing the volume. Yeah, very good bat. All star this year too. That's really good. What does he play? What does he play? First baseman and right fielder. That's a. He might not even start, but nah, that's a good trade. Whoa, and Ramon Liriano, bro. Okay, this is a W trade already because I know they already give up their best prospect for Mason Miller. They already give up their best prospect for Mason Miller. So by default, anything less than that's a good trade. Now they are a World Series contender. This could be an A plus trade. I need to know the returns. I need to know the returns. I need to know the returns. I'm sorry, editor, but I need to know the returns. Whew, excuse me. Zero views. I love that. Oh, stupid bug. Is Ramon Laureano good too? That's Orioles needed to sell. I feel like they should have done it earlier. Actually, no, they traded away. They traded away Dominguez. Get away from me. Sorry, this fly. I love this trade. This was so genius. I just made an entire list of MLB trade deadline. Ramon Laureano. I mean, I guess they needed this. They've done this in the past, though. Like, editor, I want you to include this in the video. They've done this in the past and it didn't work. Usually, I'd be super excited for a team like this, which, like, I am. They're going to be really fun to watch, and they don't scare my Tigers in the AL. But I, I feel like they've done this in the past with Juan Soto, and I don't know if it's going to work again. Does it really adjust their pitching? I guess, yeah, they needed to replace Jerks and Profar in the outfield, though. Maybe Merrill is on the injured list. Sheesh, 884 OPS. Editor, include this. 15 home runs. They just got two. How are the Orioles not good with this? Two elite. I would not be. I would. You can give up a bunch of top 100 prospects for this, but the fact that you do not need to give up your best prospect or like or it already that trade with Mason Miller already takes your best prospect off the board and three other prospects. So the fact that you do not have to give up those any of those prospects that you gave up to the A's for Mason Miller automatically makes it like a pretty good value trade because you don't have to give up your best player and you don't have to give up as much value because you already traded a bunch of your good players to the A's. So it's probably not going to be even that bad. If they don't have to trade two top 100 prospects for this, then it's a really W trade. But that doesn't mean it's an L trade for the Orioles. I think it's still a good trade for the Orioles if they can get a top 100 prospect out of this, and maybe a guy that's close to the majors. Because I think the Orioles, we've seen this before. They went from like the worst team in the league to like the best team in the league due to like the draft and stuff. So I feel like if they can get some guys that are close to the majors, I think that's good. But I need to see at least three players in return. I don't. And there's gonna have to be like some stuff later. They're not. I'm not seeing the returns for anything. That's huge though. At Fenway Park. Okay, that's not. That's just. Ouch! But just because they played for the same team once doesn't mean it's a weird coincidence that happens all the time. I really wish there was a viewer right now. I kind of want to talk with a viewer. Yeah, that's whatever. Editor, we're just gonna have to wait. We're waiting on three. We're waiting on the Danny Collabine trade. Collarbone, whatever. Yeah, if you don't give, if the Rangers don't give up like a top five prospect or deflate it for a 1 year rental, then that's a great trade for them. And this is an amazing trade for the Padres if they don't. I'd say if they don't give up two top 100 prospects, they're good. That's an amazing trade. They're not just getting decent. They're playing a lot of good players. In the years before, maybe they got in the years, maybe in the years before, maybe in the years before when they got a bunch of good players. Maybe in the years before when they got a bunch of good players, like getting Josh Hader, getting Rogers from like the Marlins, getting Brandon Drury, Juan Soto, Josh Bell. Maybe those were good, but they're getting a lot of guys now at positions of needs when their team's already pretty good. 2000. Oh wait, he's on team control too. Yeah, this is gonna cost a lot. They get the Padres are getting clip this too, editor. They're getting a lot of team controlled stuff. Like a lot of they're getting a lot of control player. Mission to call you back, there and back, man and back. Mission to call you back. I want to play music, but I can't because copyright. I don't. Maybe I'm being like cringe or weird because like maybe YouTube doesn't check in on zero viewer streams for copyright, but I'm not gonna risk it. Yeah, what? It's less than 90 minutes. Oh yeah, that's right. Mission. Wait, am I gonna get copywritten for that little video on the Twitter feed? No way, right? No way. I want the Tigers to do something. Mission to call you back. Big day. I wonder why this stream's not getting many views. Mission to call you back. I could browse into that. The returns for the Columbine trade have still not came back. The O'Hearn return still hasn't come back. I can't give my full opinions on that. The Correa trade still hasn't come back either. Same with the Jesus Sanchez one. Yeah, for the past hour or something, I don't think I can give my official. I've yapped a lot, but I can't give my actual opinion on any of these big trades because the returns haven't been announced. Astros are working to try to land. Oh my gosh, Astros! No, 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 no. Boston Bateman. Who's Boston Bateman? I need to look it up. Wait, no, no, no. Is he a top 100? I need to see. Is he a top 100? Editor, maybe cut down on the other yap for in the past like half hour. Maybe just a little bit because the full trade hasn't come back, and maybe I want most of the screen time just to be me talking about those ones. Let's see, Bateman. So he's an Astros. I don't even know if the Astros have a top 100 prospect. Yeah, if you don't get a top 100 maybe if you get like 5 or 6 outskirt top 100 prospects, that's good. But I don't know. I'd want a top 100 I know one of them's a rental, but Luriano has years of control. Ah, that's a fleece, maybe. Where is the Bateman guy? Where is he? Or eating some of them. I feel like if the Twins don't have to give up anything else, or if the Twins don't have to pay like if the Twins don't have to pay over 70% of the deal, it's a massive W for the Twins. Either way, if the Twins getting rid of Correa makes sense. It just depends the return because if they got basically nothing, like less than a bag of peanuts, I wouldn't say it's a bad trade still because trading away Correa is smart, even saving a little bit of money. But I'd say they could have done more. It's like a bag of peanuts, maybe like a C plus. But if they got anything worth of value, really, then like, that's a really good deal. Then who's Boston Bateman? Nobody knows who that is. Oh wait, here's that. Okay, editor. Clip this part. Oh my gosh, I almost just exited that out. Clip this editor. Click this editor. Clip this editor. Clip this editor. Sorry. For right-hander, Ryan Gusto. Who are those guys? Ryan Gusto, Chase Jaworski. I wouldn't say it's a big loss. I wouldn't. It's maybe nothing bigger for the Marlins. Good deal for the Astros, but not like game breaking. If they gave up any massive trade pieces, I would be disappointed. Ryan Gusto, Chase Jaworski, and Esmil Valencia. Wait, so I gotta memorize his last name. Gusto Jaworski Valencia. Wait, Gusto Jaworski Valencia. Gusto. Oh, they gave up their number 13. That's not terrible for the Marlins. Let's see. Uh, I mean, yeah, not bad trade for the Astros. Really, no other. I feel like that's a bit of an undersell for the Marlins, but with years of control. But again, not the end of the world. I give it like a C for the Marlins and like a B minus for the Astros, or not that big. Sheesh, there's like a bug in my room. Disgusting. If it does something, I'm gonna cry. Hold up. Okay, I'm back. What do you mean no data? Okay. Wait, okay. Oh my gosh, they might get Dylan Cease. It's absolutely wild times that we're living in. Wild times. There's really been no trades. We're a little bit under an hour 30, or we're a little over an hour 30. We're a little over an hour until it's over, guys. Or nobody, because nobody's watching, but it's okay. My last stream was popping compared to my other ones. What about the Tigers? What are the Tigers doing? Come on. It's a problem my father had. Man. John Heyman's the only one tweeting right now. I used to not like him, like maybe a month ago, but he's redeeming himself because he's keeping us entertained. Bro, if Cease is going to the Astros, I need to see his stats so then I can know for sure. Is he still? I know he's kind of dropped off. That's still massive though. Look how good he was the year before. His FIP is not bad either. I don't know what a good whip is. What's the average whip? I'm not very good. I know that's a stat I should know, but it's probably something that I should know. If they get something else with that, I'm still waiting on the return for like two trades. The Colibine trade and the Correa trade. Waiting on those returns. Editor, you can put a little bit of the first part, but just know that it's not done yet. We need to know the return for two trades. And no, three trades, because also the Ramon Laureano one to the Padres. So we need three of them. We need three. I think in total I've streamed about like 3 hours. Would have been like more if got home, bro. Yeah, nothing really much happening. Trying to jinx it. Man, all these insiders are on the phone. They know what's happening before we do. Zero concurrent viewers, zero chat rate, zero views. Uh, Average view duration not available. Zero likes. That okay though? That is a-okay. Ugh. Where are the trades? Where are the trades? It's public, right? Public stream. My father had married man. Nothing joke, baby, no, man. I got broads in Atlanta. Let's see, okay. Oh, we know that already. Yeah, of course, because you're just saying that because you get paid more money. You get World Series. I'm pretty sure your contract has like incentives for the winning a World Series. My father had married. Okay, we'll see if any more trades happen. Oh, Will Wagner. Who's Will Wagner? Wait, yo, editor, this is another trade. Will Wagner in exchange for Brandon Valenzuela. Sorry. Billy. Is it Billy Wagner or Willie Wagner? Wait. Will Wagner. The problem my father had. Yo, who is this guy? 40 games, six. Kind of a nothing burger unless Venezuela or Valenzuela. Valenzuela. Valen. Brandon Van. Where is. If they give up anything, they probably shouldn't even give up a top prospect for this guy. Oh, nobody cares about that trade. Padres. Habe. Let's see. Venezuela. Nope, not even on there. Don't. This probably not even worth putting in. We are still waiting for the return for the O'Hearn Laureano deal, the Correa deal, and the Colabine deal. We are waiting returns for all three. And in the meantime, Cease might be traded. Son of former Hall of Famer, or son of Hall of Famer Billy Wagner. That's what I searched up his father's name. That's cool. Kind of like Kyle Scramshy, Mikey Scramshy. Kyle Scramshy was actually decent for a while though. Any of my zero viewers relate? Yeah, I thought so. Am I even live? I better be live. Problem my father had when he had barely lost control. Problem my father had. Ooh, Astros will pay a majority. That's a win for the Twins. So they basically traded away the twin at the college square for nothing. I'm gonna wait. As editor, do not put that part in. But man, taking on a bunch of contract. I mean, okay, I gotta rethink this. Non non-biasly. Okay, this is a good trade for basically paying 40 million for a guy. I mean, I guess it's a good trade for the Astros because they get a guy that could be good for them. But yeah, but still, like I feel like okay, on paper it's a win for the Twins, but and like mind and your feelings, you think, oh wow, they got this guy that could help the Astros win a World Series because now they're a World Series contender. Holy crap, they are a winner from the trade deadline. They are definitely a winner. Should I do more MLB videos? Comment I in the chat if you think so. This channel's probably gonna be more college football focused, but do not mind me some MLB at all. Why is Jack Curry? Yes, has he ever broken any news in his life? Like, no, when I'm gonna look at his tweets. When has he ever broken the news? Oh no, he has. Never mind, he has. Wait, or has he? Does he ever break news? Stop retweeting stuff though. I thought it was a trade. Ooh, Brandon Butters. I think it's in. They don't trade him to the Astros. Okay, wait. In a sense, you think, wow, nobody else wants O'Neill. Nobody else wants O'Hearn or Luriano, so the Astros are the best case. But I'd feel like at least hold on to Uriano for next year or something if they're not gonna give you something amazing, unless they give you like their top two or three prospects. Then one of the many prospects. Okay, if they get like five prospects, let's say it's a it's almost a major W. I think not getting anybody who's a guaranteed amazing prospect or top 100 prospect or at least borderline is kind of crazy, or at least somebody who's not doing amazing is bad because you could hold on to your Laureano for a few more years. Maybe the Orioles could be contenders again. But if you got some good players, then of course the Orioles are selling. And when I say they could hold on to Laureano, I'm saying trade him next year, trade him to another team because there's got to be other teams willing to trade for him. But if they got like 5 or 6 players, like that's good. Butter, yeah, Bryce Matthews is not getting traded. They said. Let's see, Buttersworth. Is Buttersworth even in here? He's not even in the top 30 prospects. Okay. Okay. Yep. Oh, this is I work. There's a team called the West Virginia Whitecaps that's local to me. I see them play this team all the time. Brandon Valenzuela. Welcome to our Blue Jay family. Player who's probably never gonna play for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays got like a. They got like a. Yeah, I got. Let me look at. There's nothing else going on, so I might as well look at that. It's a problem my father had barely. I guess I'm just kind of a stats guy. I don't know. When I don't know, I just look at what they look like in the stats. Let's see, is he good? Mm, 700 OPS in 87 games. This guy's kind of. How long has he been in the minors? Sheesh. He's 24 and he's still in Double A. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Bro, why am I not getting any views on this stream? Holy crap. I might give the Astros a minimum of a C plus because they still got a really good player, and if they don't have to give up a big time prospect, but I'd still even the fact that the Twins shed that much salary over like a guy who's not even that good. It's like if the Tigers last year, maybe not to the same extent, but they just basically traded away Javi Baez and didn't have to pay the majority of his contract because he's in this universe he's still bad. Dang, pretty slow in terms of actual news. Nothing, no new trades are happening anytime soon. We're just seeing the returns. Seeing the returns. Problem I found it. Perfect. Um, buddy, you need a photo. We got 0 viewers. Yes, sir. Yes, sirski. Some problem my father had. Really. We are live, chat. Only one prospect going to the Twins. Wait, I thought you said the Astros are paying a big portion. If you traded away a guy you could have gotten a little bit more from, I'm saying they're probably not going to get much, but maybe only getting one prospect, maybe you could have gotten a little bit more for him in another universe, and you still pay the majority of it. I'd say if the Astros pay half, close to 0.5%, that's a W for the Twins. If they pay them more than 50%, that's a really big W. But Twins pay, if the Twins pay the majority, then that's a W for the. If the Twins get more of a majority, that's a W for the Astros. Have acquired Alex Call. Who's Alex Call? Who's Alex? Um, editor. There's a trade. Alex Call. Editor trade. Alex Call. 756 OP. The Dodgers don't really need much, maybe besides starting pitcher. I feel like they've done a little underwhelming. 3 home runs. Yeah, what's so special? Last year, 30 games, he was pretty good last year. I don't see much about this guy that's intriguing me. He's 30. That's a nothing burger trade for me. That's the big trade. Are the Tigers going to get anybody else? No. We have under an hour left, guys. Come on, Tigers. We want more. We want more. Please make there be another streak. I want I want Kelly and I want one of the bullpen arms. I want like that Nunez guy or whatever. I thought that was an overpayment for the Outman one though. I just want to feel liberated. Oh, I just want to feel liberated. Anytime, maybe I should just look at Jeff Passan retweet. Honestly, it's just anything by him is good. I'm just gonna keep clicking like this. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Two pitching prospects. Okay, two pitching prospects. We still waiting on three deals for the returns, buddy. What are these guys? They're gonna spend the rest of the hour doing the return. That they're not releasing to the return because they know that the deadline's over pretty much. Nobody's doing much. If there's a viewer by the end, I'll keep streaming. But what is this? I just wanna feel liberated now. I just got a viewer. I don't care. I'm not expecting any. Chico Laza with the glass. You're waiting for more trade? Chico Asa with the glasses. We are still waiting for the return. I might be streaming a little bit past 6 as well. They're talking. Rangers need something. I think any move by them is a good move, especially because they don't really value their farm system that much. They just spend in free agency. I wonder, are the Astros? I thought things were speeding up. They're going super slow. 0 views. That's great. I just wanna feel liberated. Okay, wait. Editor, conclude this. Columbine. As long as they do not give up like a top 10 prospect, that's good. Actually, no, as long as they don't give up like two top 15 prospects, they're good. If the Twins can get something good for this, I think that I know he's a rental and he hasn't pitched that much, so his numbers might be a little bit inflated, but he was good last year too. I feel like the Twins, they should get something good for this. The Twins should get at least a top 10 prospect. The Twins should get at least a top the Twins should get at least a top 10 prospect because this is a guy who's like really good, and I feel like even though he's a rental, he could get some really big value. Let's see, Garrett Horn. Is he a prospect or a player? Probably a prospect, right? They got James Outman too. They got a guy who could stick around for a little bit, a really good deal. I would have liked the minor league better, but the James Outman, now that I'm thinking about it, that's a better and better deal for the Twins. I think like an A minus on the other deal that they got, like you know, the one that they traded to the Dodgers. Okay, now this is the important part. Rangers. I don't even know if the Rangers have a Texas Rangers. Where are they? Wait, am I just stupid? Yeah, where are the Rangers? There they are. Okay, so who did they? It's only one prospect, but if it's Garrett Horn, okay. Garrett Horn. I feel like they undersold a little bit, the Twins. That's a great. Oh, he's not even in there. Wait, is he a major league player? Garrett Horn. I need to look him up. If that's like, how do you spell his name? Garrett with wait, two R's and two T's. He's not even in their top 30. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm gonna give this like Columbine was really good this year. I feel like okay, it's better to let him go than for nothing, but I feel like it's good that they traded him, which is why I'm not giving the Twins an F. Editor, include this. It's good that they traded him, which is why I'm not giving him an F because like he is on an expiring deal. But because of all these other pitchers, like these other players, like the Pirates with David Bender, they're getting like they're trading away players that are on the last year of their deal for a lot of good value stuff. Same with like all these guys, they're trading away bullpen arms that with a year left, and they're getting at least like a top 20 prospect. This guy's not even in the top 30, so I feel like it's good that they traded him. It's bad for the return. I give this an A plus for the Rangers, and I give this like a D plus for the Twins. One of the only bad trades that the Twins have made all day. Let's see. Call. Let me see if I'm remembering him correctly. 1.6. Yeah, this guy's nasty. This guy's nasty. He's a free agent next year, but still. I want to see if was I incorrect about the David Bender contract? David I called him David Bender this whole time. It's Bednar. What's his contract looking like? He's a free agent next year too. Yeah, the Pirates, they got a way better deal. I know it's not the same inning split, but still the rain they got the Pirates got a way better deal. Texas Rangers, Diamondbacks with 45 minutes left. Why aren't the Tigers making a trade? Come on. Let's see. 45 minutes left to go, guys. If I get some viewers, I might hang around, but not looking like the case. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Maybe all the other MLB streamers got on, even though I don't think MLB like analyst streaming is a big thing, so or maybe I don't know. It's not being pushed out there. Yeah. See what happens now. If I had questions, it would be a lot. Ooh, it would be a lot less dead silence. Wait. Okay, editor put this in. It's number 16. I guess he does have a 756 OPS, so it's not bad for catcher depth. But I feel like the Dodgers gave up too much. I feel like this is like a confident B minus for the Dodgers because even though they didn't really get that good of a player, and they did give up a two top 20 prospects, which for a better player like Colibine, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but for a better player like Colibine, the Rangers didn't even give up a top 30 prospect in their system going to MLB pipeline, and the Dodgers gave up two top 20 ones. So I guess in a sense, like the Nationals won because the Dodgers like they didn't even give up like the Dodgers gave up the top 20 when they could have given less. But also I guess he's not like he's not a useless player. Like he could be useful and he's an okay player that's at least playable if you're on a bad team. Like if you're on like a kind of like a below average team, he would be maybe a starter. But even if that's the case, the fact that he can maybe be a starter on a below average team means that he can be good depth, maybe at a position they need, and maybe if there's injury. So getting a guy that could contribute at all for a low price, even though he's a bit higher priced, because again, number 16, number 20, they're not going to matter much for the Dodgers, obviously. So in a sense, you could say the Dodgers got him for nothing, that they won, but I'm putting this in trade deadline terms. And in trade deadline terms, they gave up a little bit too much. So I'd say that getting a guy who's not even that good, 756 OPS for this, I'd say it's like a C plus for the Dodgers. They did get a guy that they could use in the Nationals. I don't think they were going to use this guy at all unless he was super young, which he wasn't. So there's plenty of other catchers. I think they have a few catchers in their system, their farm system, that are better than him. And getting this, I feel like that's a good return. Now, they didn't get anybody good. They got something good for Alex Call's nature, which is why the Dodgers still probably got a better return. The Dodgers walk away more valuable because they got a major league player who can at least contribute a little bit. And the Nationals got two guys that are probably never even be in the MLB. But in terms of trade deadline talk, they got two top 20 prospects, which could be higher in their organization, and also sheds a player they were going to get rid of anyway. So getting any type of value for him is good, and two top 20 prospects is really good. I give this a B for the Nationals. Merrill Kelly's a big name that's left. Same with Stephen Kwan. Same with Dylan Cease. Maybe Zach Gallen. Who else is left? Uh, like the Suarez guy. The Suarez guy. Suarez guy from the Padres. Maybe. Even though I don't think the Padres are gonna sell anymore. And yeah, I think that's maybe it. Yep, that's the return. Man, I'm going. We want the returns for the Correa and we want the returns for the Correa trade. We want the we want the returns for the Correa trade, the Luriano and O'Hearn trade, and what was the other one? I think that's it. Yeah, yeah, just those two trades. We want the returns for those trades. Okay, wait. Editor, put this in. This is what the Orioles had to do, or maybe not Orioles had to do, but this is what the Orioles had to do in terms of return. This is what the Orioles needed to demand because wait, no. Scratch what I said. Editor, put this in. Okay, if you get a top 100 prospect, this is good. This is two players, mind you. For one controllable player, that's good. Okay, let's see. A guy like Ryan O'Hearn, a rental is probably worth two players. A guy like Loriano's worth like three. You got six. You got an extra player. So this is big. Let's see. Let's see if any of these guys are big on the Padres farm system. This is for a controllable player too, so I will be judging harshly. I'll be looking into these prospects. They got the Padres number 4 prospect, Cub Hightower, number 6 prospect, uh, 29 prospect. See, it doesn't matter if they got like this many people if like some of them are super low. Wait, oh no, and they got the number 12 prospect. That's really good. What about Buttersworth? Where's Buttersworth? 26 prospect. No. Not 26 prospect. So we need Buttersworth, uh, and Smith, Tanner Smith and Buttersworth. Yeah, it looks like they got 4 Padres top 30 prospects, and one of them's a top 4. One of them's top 6. One of them is top 12. One of them is top 29. So they got number 4, number 6, number 12, number 29, and 2 randoms. That's a good deal for the Orioles. Whoa, Rangers got. Okay, wait. Let me talk about the other one too. Let me talk about the other ones too. Okay, are any of these guys in the top 100 though? Any of these guys in the top 100? Nope, none of these. They didn't get a top 100 prospect, but I think the amount of prospects that they got, even getting okay, Tyler Hearn by himself, or oh, oh, O'Hearn, like getting anybody like for him by themselves, that's a good deal because like that's a rental, okay? And getting a guy like Gloriano, sure he's pretty good, but I think he's just like a one-off year, which is it's still a valuable player for the Padres, which is why it's a good trade for the Padres. Still, because let's look at the Padres side of this. They got a controllable player, kind of like Soto, which means he can still be good after this year, even if they fail, and a guy like O'Hearn. These are not just like under the radar bats who've been okay like Brandon Jury was. These are two proven guys. These are two proven guys. And for the Orioles, you need to sell and you need to restock in that farm system too. I think getting some valuable players for that is good as well. Now let's look at Loriano. Lore giving up six prospects. Okay, the thing is the amount of prospects is big because let's say you gave him like two or three prospects. That's two or three chances to fail, and most minor league players fail. Six prospects, you're at least probably going to get one or two players who contribute to the minors for at least a little bit. Getting multiple players that could contribute to the minors for a controlled play for a player that is a rental and another player who's under control but is not a superstar, it's huge. Like you didn't even know that you're going to get that from the Soto deal. They got a huge haul for two guys who are good but not elite. Oh, he was good last year too with the Atlanta. Let's see. He's old too. How many years of contract does he have? I think it's until like 2027, right? 2026, he's a free agent. Yeah, I feel like good return for the Orioles because you got a haul and you're gonna get major league production players because at least two of these guys are gonna be good. You got a Padres top four player in their system. Well, for this, so yeah, and it's at pitching position too. You need a pitcher. You got three top 12 prospects. That is huge. And you got some that are close. You got options. I like the amount of quantity. They got quality and quantity. And for the so cuz okay, I'm going to say this for the Orioles. This is my final verdict. They got a six-player haul. At least two of them are going to be good because it's six players and three of them are top 12. Well, you also got three top 12 players who are quality too. And one of them is it's for two players, and one of them you can just chalk out because who cares? He's a rental who's good, but he's not like attached to him. And the other one is a pretty good player, but he's only been good for 1 year. He's on the older side, and you're rebuilding anyway, so it's not like you're gonna need him the next 2 years. And of course, all these players who are trading away, these players don't need them. But again, sometimes you're mad when a player gets a bad return because you're like, oh, these are really good players who are worth a lot, and maybe if we kept them around, they could have been good. Nope, because O'Hearn was on his way out the door. Loriano was also he was not going to contribute much because if he was under control for a few more years, yes, that's a bad trade. But it's only like one more year, so the Orioles don't have a use for him. Because I feel like all these like undersellers, like sure it's they don't need them, but they could use them for other trades. I feel like Loriano, you're not going to get much for him in any other trade besides with Rhino Hearn. So you basically, because you don't need Rhino Hearn anyway, that would probably be worth like maybe one top 30 prospect. But because you package Loriano with it, you basically it's a one player for six prospect thing. Okay, in short, I think it's a good trade for the Orioles because they get basically one player that they kind of is a good control piece for six prospects, and you got one top four prospect, a top six prospect, and a top 12 prospect. It's good because they got max value for him. They basically got six players for one player basically, and editor include this. Loriano is not a player. I'm making all this mental gymnastics. Loriano is a player who's good, but he's not a player that fans are gonna really miss. He's not a player that's a huge like piece for your future. And he's not a player that if you undersell, it doesn't matter because like it really matters because he's not like a huge trade piece. He's a really good player, but he's not like there's better pitchers on the market. So they got a lot for him. They got quality and quantity. And all for what? Two players who are really good but not like amazing. Now let's flip to the Padres. They're going all in. They do not care about their prospecting. And the main concern for a buyer who is selling all their prospects to get good stuff is, oh no, they're not going to have any elite prospects left. And I think they overpaid for Mason Miller. But for this, even with their now depleted farm system after they traded away all their good players for other guys, they can still make more trades and they still have a some impact players in their farm system because their highest one was the number four prospect. That's still really that's still high in their farm system, but they still remain their top three. They still have a bunch of their top 10 prospects. You didn't give up another top 10 prospect, and you still have trade pieces. You barely have any. It's a bit of an overpayment, but the thing is, if I'm grading a trade like this, the thing I'm going to say is if it could be a lot worse for getting two really good players, then it's a good deal. Then it is a good deal. And you're getting two players who have close to 900 OPS. This brings depth, it brings position of need, and it brings clutch hitting for the postseason. Without this trade, I don't think they can go far. This is a B plus. No, this is a B for the Padres simply because the value these players added, and you still have your remaining top 100 prospects in baseball. And it's a W trade for the Orioles because you got players that are going to contribute at the major league level, and these players are really good and they're going to help the Padres, but they're not going to help you. And if they're not like superstars and you got superstar value. Okay, final verdict, the Orioles got a lot, six players and a lot of quality players for a rental and a player who's good, but he's not a superstar value level player who you're super concerned about keeping on to. And you still got really good prospects for that. And it's good for the Padres because even though you kind of overpaid for it, these are these are players who aren't just might help you. These aren't players that like you're gonna say, oh, you overpaid because they're not worth that much or they might not be as good and this might bite you in the butt. No, these are players that you know for sure are gonna be really, really good, and you got two solid contributors and you still have some top 100 prospects left in baseball. It's a good deal because the Padres salvaged a good part of their farm system. They still have a good part of their farm system. They salvaged this part of their farm system to a good part of their farm system to get these guys. And it's good for the Padres because even though these players might not be super important to the Orioles, which is why them getting a good deal and this is good, these players are going to be super important to the Padres. They get two really good hitters who are going to help them on a postseason run, and you didn't give up the moon. You gave up a lot, but you didn't give up the moon. So the Orioles got good value, and the Padres got two really good hitters. And it's good for the Padres because you got two guys and you didn't blow up your whole thing. And it's good for the Orioles because it's essentially like trading away one player because one is a rental for six. So good trade for both of them. Now, editor, include this too. The Rangers acquire Merrill Kelly. This is a really good starter. I wanted the Tigers to get him, and he doesn't really have much injury issues too. So, holy crap, there's more trades too. For three prospects. I think I'd give away anything as long as it's not a top 100 prospect too. Cause the Astros didn't really give up a bunch, or the Astros didn't really give up a bunch for their thing. So yep. And I have to wait on the Kelly thing, but really good job. The Rangers need all they can get. They got a good bullpen arm. And they got one of the best starters on the market. Really good, 3.22 ERA. He does have an injury history. I think he's gonna fit in right in there. I do think the Rangers kind of needed bats more though, which is why I'm gonna scale it down a little bit because they needed bats like a little bit more. But other than that, it's still a really good starter. And even if it's a lot, I still think it's good. Now the Diamondbacks, I think they should oversell a little bit. By oversell, I mean demand a little bit more that he's worth to make up for the Suarez trade. If they do that, I think it's a decent trade. Now, put this to editor. The Yankees have traded Oswaldo Peraza to the Angels. I'm not sure why the Yankees would sell, but if it's for a major league player, good. If the Angels got him for nothing, sure, that's decent. I don't know why the Angels are buying though. The Angels shouldn't be buying, but if they didn't give up much, it's not bad. If the Yankees gave up him for nothing, then I guess it's like kind of a bad trade, but it's not the end of the world. Now, editor, include this too. Willie Castro to the Cubs. That's really good because they need hitters. They needed a shortstop. Uh, we had a viewer at one point. They needed a hitter, they needed a shortstop, and this is a guy, he's a good major league player. I think just giving up maybe not as much for him would be great. And the Angels got Oswald. The Twins are trading like every year. There's a guy who trades like crazy. Every year, there's people who trade like crazy because like the Marlins last year. Okay, editor include this to the Red Sox. They acquired Joe Ryan. I think it's a little too late. He's kind of old. He is pretty good, but let me see Joe Ryan's stats. Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan. I feel like Castro might be a little gimmicky, which is why I don't think the Cubs should give up much. Let's see. Is he one of the best pitchers in baseball, actually? Wait a second. Yo, this guy's. They got an all star. Wait, editor, include this. This is a W trade for the Red Sox. Wow, good trade for the Red Sox. Wow, good trade for the Red Sox. This is moving too fast. Okay, they're getting. Yankees are getting. Is he good? Wilberson de Pena. Do not know who that is. Include this. Dang, this is. Where's Los Angeles? This is a whirlwind. Okay, kind of a below average trade for the Yankees, but I'm not going to say much. Maybe like C plus for both sides. Okay, for Merrill Kelly, I think they need to sell a lot for this, even if he is a rental like the other guys. He, unlike O'Hearn, the Diamondbacks aren't that bad. I mean, they're trading away everybody and they need to sell. But unlike O'Hearn, this is a starting pitcher, and starting pitchers are a lot more valuable, and you need pitchers like this. They could have gotten this for a lot. Let's see. Cole Drake. Let's see Cole Drake. If it's their top prospect, I don't. I think it's still a W trade because these are some good arms. Top five prospect: Cole Drake and David Hageman. And 13. Okay, let's see Cole Drake's stats. Wow, that's a good trade for the Red Sox though. This will bolster their rotation. Wow. How much years of control did Ryan have? I don't care if he's a free agent. That's one of the best pitchers. You've got to get a haul for that, Twins. This is huge. This could change their franchise. Where's the where's the contract? Sign. Okay, he's a free. What do you mean earliest free agent? Signed through 2025. Okay, he's a free agent. No, he's signed for a while. This could be a game as long as you don't give up one of the like. Okay, Garcia is okay. He's good, but Joe Ryan's good, but you already have an ace, Boston. Obviously, it makes your team a lot better, and you kind of need starting pitching. But I think getting an ace isn't going to make you a World Series contender here. And if you give up one of those top 100, like if you give up one of like those top 10 prospects in baseball, then that's a terrible trade for the Red Sox. Okay, we're still waiting on the return for a lot of this stuff. Wow, a lot of action going on. Good trade for the Cubs getting. Wow. We are about less than 20 minutes into the deadline. Enjoyed streaming. Why am I? Yeah, that was a bad trade by the Tigers. Michael Bratt. Okay, editor, include this. This is a good haul for the Diamondbacks, getting some pitchers to replace Merrill Kelly for a guy who's going to be a free agent anyway, kind of like a Jack Flaherty Renaissance deal. I feel like, okay, for the Rangers, it's important to get him, and it's a huge deal. I think they need to push, they need to pull in, even if it doesn't result in a World Series. It's still like it's still important to make a playoff run. And I'd be damned if they did not get him because like he's a good arm on the market on a selling team. But I feel like you could have maybe negotiated better and only given up two of these guys that you've mentioned in their top 15. But still, nonetheless, it's just a slight overpayment for a really good guy. So I'm gonna give this a B plus, an A minus for the Rangers because they got a guy who is really good. They did not give up any like elite prospects, and they just slightly overpaid. And for the Diamondbacks, I'm gonna give this a I'm gonna give this an A minus as well. Obviously, like maybe in some Diamondbacks fans' fantasies, they're like, oh, maybe we can get some top three prospects or something like that. When in reality, they got a little bit more than they should have because they still got a top five prospect. They got a guy that they can be excited for a starting pitcher who's kind of older and is going to be let go. And they also got the number nine prospect and a number 13 prospect. You got three pitchers. It's a bit of an overkill in the position, which is why it's not the best, because maybe you want something spread out. But hey, the Diamondbacks got some good hitters in their system. And you get three guys who have been done really good. I think some of them have guaranteed production in the MLB, I think. Good. You got good value for the Diamondbacks because you got three prospects for a guy who's going to be let go anyway, and one of them is in the top five, and you didn't get any throwaway prospects. It's an A minus for the Diamondbacks because they didn't get any throwaway prospects, and one of them is top five, and you got three of them at a position of need. So it's a W for the Diamondbacks because you got three top 15 prospects or three top 13 prospects, three guys for one that's going out the door anyway, and one of them is close to the MLB. So that's a W, and it's a W for the Rangers because it's one of the guys that you really need that's really competitive markets, and you did not give up a top 100 prospect for him, but you also slightly overpaid. I'm gonna give it this a B plus for the Rangers because he's not Joe Ryan level elite, and I'm gonna give this an A minus for the Diamondbacks. Okay, editor, the Kansas City Royals are required. Are okay, it's a pretty wait making late effort for Joe Ryan. Wait, I thought they did get Joe Ryan already. Oh, made a late effort. They made a late effort. Does that mean they got him? He'd be worth a lot. So I still need the Correa stuff, the Castro return. The Correa return needs to go. The Castro return needs to be there. Uh, and same with the Royals trade. Okay, let's see Bailey Falter. Bailey Fault. Editor, like, maybe dismiss keep the Joe Ryan thing in there if he actually ends up getting traded, but I misread it. Bailey Falter. Bailey. The Pirates have gotten a decent haul. Let's see. 3.73 ERA. Is he a starting pitcher? Let's see. 113 innings pitched. He's 7-5. 22. He's a starting pitcher. Okay, giving up a starting pitcher is a bit different. 3.73 ERA, about 4.86 FIP. Maybe he's not the greatest guy. I feel like if you're giving up a lot for him, I feel like this is a fluke thing for a team that's under 500. I don't think the Royals should go all in. Maybe get some guys they can use for the future. If he's under contract, then this is a decent thing. Okay, he's a free agent in 2029. So I think this is a good deal for the Royals to get a good guy under control. It's actually really good. I kind of take it back. But if they give up a core piece for the future or a piece that could hurt their future, then I think it is a little bit bad because this guy, I think he's a little flukish. But if he continue to be actually good, then that's a good trade for him. But signs are saying maybe not. He is going to a pitcher's ballpark, but we'll see. I don't mind the Pirates trading him away either. Ooh, wow. Sandy Alcantara is heading to is staying. I still need the Correa deal. Still need the Willie Castro deal. Uh, Still need the Falter deal. Yeah, we still need those deals. When's the Correa deal gonna? I know they're doing medical stuff, but sheesh. Yeah, ban a trade deadline. My throat hurts. Certainly ban a trade deadline. I've yapped a lot. Don't know how good this video is gonna be. We are waiting for more. Whoa, wait, was my internet out? Whoa, Nestor Court editor trade. Uh, Wait, editor. Padres get Nestor Cortez. Good thing if they did not give up. If they got a guy who could be really good, you see what he did for the Yankees when he's an ace. For like a throwaway bag of prospects, that's a really good. That could be a thing where it's like, oh, remember when we got Nestor Cortez who helped us in the postseason? Oh, yeah, and we barely gave up. Who's this one prospect? Yeah, I forgot about him. Like if they gave up something like really minor for that, that's good. But if they gave up something even really interesting of note, I'd say it's a risk. But if it's like a as long as it's not like a top 15 prospect, because you might say, well, number 14 prospect isn't going to make a big deal in the MLB. He's a trade chip, though. So I think, like, just getting, don't give up a big trade chip for this guy. No, Dusty May, that is a good trade for the Red Sox. Maybe they did not get Joe Ryan and they pivoted on this. I think it might cost a lot, but I think getting a for sure good arm from the Dodgers this is gonna help you make a postseason run is huge, especially with all the moves the Mariners and Rangers have been making too in the wild card thing. In editor trade, Reds acquire Miguel and Duhar. Let's see. I need to look at Dusty May's stats. Wait, Dusty May? Oh, Dustin. I'm thinking about the Michigan basketball coach, Dustin May. Okay, let's see. Dustin May. Hmm, 4.85. Yeah, maybe I was incorrect. Scratch what I said. It's a good trade to get a guy that could very well help you, and that's a starter, and that has been very good in the past, kind of like the Nestor Cortez deal, but a little better. And it's a good trade, and you needed to do something, but I would actually not give up something good. It's a good trade for both because the Dodgers didn't need it, and the Red Sox kind of did, but it's not a hugely good player that might help them. So I'd say whoever gets the better side of the market value is the winner of this trade because if the if the Dodgers get like a bit more prospects than they wanted for that could deplete the Boston farm system even by a little bit because the Red Sox need to make more trades, then that's a really good job by the Dodgers managing that and bad job by the Red Sox. But if the Red Sox got something for like nothing, then that's good. Now there's got to be more trades, right? Come on, come on. Evans, Brandon Lockridge, Bailey Falter to the Royals. Okay, wait. Editor, going to the Pirates. Evan Sisk and I need to see Bailey Falter again. Yeah, let's see. Evan Sisk. I need to go to the Royals thing. The Royals need their prospects because they're not doing good right now in the majors. I don't even know why they're buying. So, Evan Sisk and Callan Moss. Not yeah, that's about what I expected. I give the yeah, I give that about like a Pirates definitely could have done better, but again, not a guy who's really good. He's hitting free agency, right? I keep forgetting. Nope, he's under control. I feel like they could have done a little better for a team under control, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. I give it like a C for the Pirates. For the Royals, it's a guy who could help, but again, I don't think you should have bought. But it's a good value. I'll give it a B for the Royals. Now, uh, for the Nestor Cortez trade, they got Brandon Lockridge. This guy better not be in their top 20. I gotta look at. Feels like they're giving up weight. Yeah, not even in their top 30. Hmm. The Brewers are contenders. Why would you should have started? Let me look at Nestor Cortez stats. Nestor Cortez. Let's see. Yeah, that's like a nothing burger for both teams. For the Padres, it could make you worse. I'll give it like a C plus, and I'll give it like a C for the Brewers. Nothing burger. Let's see. Tampa Bay Rays are crying out. Why would you sell and trade? They traded away other guys. Now they're buying. I think the fact that they're buying is bad. Yankees acquire Jose Calip. This is a. Let's see the Miguel and Duhar trade. Okay, Miguel and Duhar. I might need to shorten these summaries because holy crap, there's a lot of trades going on. This is a good trade. Okay, good trade, good depth trade for the Reds so far. Hauser, let's see how good Hauser is. The White Sox have to get something off of these. Their farm system's good, but not like what you think it would be for how bad they are. Uh, let's see, 4 ERA. I think they need if the White Sox can get something, it would be good. But let's see what's his contract situation. 2026 is when he's a free agent. That's after this year, right? Yep. So I think, yeah, I think if you could get something for that, that's good. But if the Rays just don't give up anything big for that, it's just a reliever. Yankees get Jose Calabaro. That could be a sneaky good one if he's act. They need productive hitters in there. Cal. Hmm? Wait. Cababaro. Sorry. Cab. Jose Cababaro. You will see. Yeah, not the greatest trade. I'll give it like a nothing burger. Wait. Editor, rewind. Yeah, this is a. You need to get something for this because, okay, I think the White Sox, you need to get a top 10 prospect for this because this is a guy, he's a really good, and you've undersold recently, even though he's a free agent next year. He's one of the best guys on the market. the bullpen arms are dwindling, so I think the White Sox need to get something for this. And Rays, don't give up any of your big pieces for the future, like top five guys, for this, because you're not a contender. I don't know why you would even make that trade. I'm not gonna. Yeah, but it's an. Oh, I need to know the details. Evan Pierres and is that good? I'll give it like a yeah. That's a nothing burger trade. It can make them worse. I give it like a C minus for the Yankees and like a D plus for the Rays. Because why would you even sell guys that could help you win if you're buying again too? Wait, Tampa Bay. Yeah, they're like bipolar when it comes to that. Tyler Rogers. Tyler Rogers to the Cubs. Okay, that's a. Let me see Tyler Rogers. What are the Pirates doing? Tyler. I might not give an in-depth analysis for every trade because holy crap. No, 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 no. Taylor Rogers. Taylor Rogers. That's a good player, and he's being traded to the Cubs. That's a good one. Phil Maton is going to the Rangers. You also needed that. The Rangers are stacking up without depleting their farm system. Okay, now Phil Maton to the Rangers. Blah blah blah. I need to know the returns for this to give my full opinion. Honestly, I'm still waiting on Correa. Still waiting on Castro. Still waiting on Hauser. Still waiting on Andujar. Still waiting on Maton. Still waiting on Taylor Rogers. Still waiting on Dustin May. I need to know the returns. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on giving my reactions. Andrew Heaney or Dennis Santan? Oh, they were not. Okay, I thought that was part of their trade. That was part of their trade. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. And this was a big trade. Duval from the Giants. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bathroom break. Nobody's watching anyway. Yep. Camilo Duval. Is he good? I just need to see. It's almost 6. 1 minute till 6, so the deadline's in a minute. And this is a good trade too. What? Giants should have been selling more. You're back. Tigers working hard for a starting pitcher. Let's go. Come on, Tigers. Please, please. Handful of moves. Good move by the Yankees so far. I might not give a full reaction for everything. I don't know. Pirates received Ivan Brethro. Okay. Ivan Brethro. Is he good? I don't know. Nope. Brethro. Breath. Huh? Who is that? Breath Hour? He's not good. That's they undersold. I give this like a C minus for the Pirates. Great move getting Taylor Rogers for the Cubs. That's an absolute steal. I give this an A, getting a good bullpen arm. The Nats did not trade Mackenzie Gore. That's a smart decision too. Camilo Doval. That's also a really good arm too. Yeah, that is pretty huge. I feel like the Giants are going to undersell too. Come on, Scott Harris. The deadline's here though. You can't make any more trades. That's W. Where they got Morton? No, they didn't. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait! Griffin Jack went to the Rays. Wait! Okay, editor. This is huge. Okay, editor, editor. This is huge. I'm gonna yapping for a little bit. Griffin Jacks. Are the Rays selling or buying? I think it's already graded down if the Rays are just buying in the first place. Because if you're buying, then why are you trading away all these other guys? Why would you trade away all these other guys just to get these cheap, just to get these other guys to replace them? Why would you trade away Zach Little if you're gonna replace him with Griffin Jacks? Are you just trying to be more cost efficient? But yeah, that's huge. Charlie Morton too. Let me look at Charlie Morton's stats to the Tigers. That's huge. What's he? Is he good? Is he good? I feel like he is good. Uh, what is this deadline, Harris? This is terrible. This is terrible. What are we doing? Actually, what are the Tigers doing? This is terrible. This is actually terrible. I'm so disappointed. That's it. That's terrible. That's actually terrible. Blue Jays acquiring Louis. He's a good bullpen arm. I'm disappointed in the Tigers. I thought he was good. Bad deadline. Bad deadline. What is this? He hasn't been good in 2 years. Is he what's is he he's a free agent, right? What are we doing? I like the Cal Finnegan. It's awful. That's it for the Tigers. Uh, Hi, France too. James Tibbs. Okay, this is huge. Whoa, he was one of the guys with the Rafael Devers thing. Wait, did they just? No way they got a top five prospect for Dustin May. I know Dustin Day was good in the past, okay? I gotta be non-biased. Now, editor, put this in. I've gotta be non-biased. I'm gonna say that Dustin May was good in the past, and if he returns for form with the Red Sox and helps them make that postseason run, it's gonna be a good trade, even if they give up a top five prospect for it, because that's more worth it. And even if just getting him alone, even if he's not doing good this year, it's a good trade in theory. Getting him, it's a good trade to get Dustin May. Getting Dustin May is a good thing. Getting any player is a good thing, but especially in theory, a trade for Dustin May is a good thing because he's a pitcher. He's not going to be terrible for you. He's not done good this year, but he's not going to be terrible, and that could remain to late season form, and he can help the Red Sox win. But in reality, they gave up a top five prospect, a guy that they got from the Giants trade with Rafael Devers for a guy who's been struggling this year. What are we doing, Red Sox? This is a D minus. Great trade for the Dodgers. They didn't need him. I'll give the Dodgers an A. Granted, Rojas. Hi, Fran. Stephen Kwan stays in Cleveland. Taj Bradley. They're getting Taj Bradley. Uh, let's see. Wait, they're getting Taj Bradley. Wait, Rojas. Wait, so they got Taj Bradley, Cam Rojas, and Rodon. Yeah, Blue Jays. They got a top five prospect. That's about what I expected. And Verland. And that's a great deal for the Twins. Giving up a guy that you're going to trade anyway because you're doing a fire sale and getting a top five prospect alone is good, but you also got a major league player too. That's good. And you give away Ty France too. To get Doval, Jesus Rodriguez. Okay, wait. This is also another thing. Just in view. I need to see where they are in the Yankee system. Editor include this too. Wait, so who did they say they give up? This is to get one of the better bullpen arms or starting arms or whatever. Jesus Rodriguez, Parks Harbor, and Tristan Vierling. So Rodriguez, Harbor, Vierling. Okay, number 19. That's not bad. Yeah, W trade for the Yankees. I give this a C minus for the Giants. Even though you want to maybe sell a little bit, you've been sort of selling the past few years. At least like keep on to maybe to make the postseason, or if you're not going to get anything, or at least negotiate a little better. And the Yankees gave up almost nothing for one of the better 3.12 ERA, one of the better guys. This is one of the best trade of the trade deadline. He's uh, let's see. I need to see Duval if he's a starter. This is to get. This is again one of the better bullpen arms in baseball. That's a good trade. Good trade. Griffin Jacks, all these Rays buying stuff makes no sense though. Good trade for the Cubs. I'm so disappointed that they Taj Bradley, is he good anymore? I don't know. Still would say that's a good. The Twins generally did pretty good. They they did pretty good. They had maybe one or two trades that I didn't like, but other than that, I mean, Ivan. Okay, return to the Pirates for Taylor Rogers. Ivan Brethrow. Yeah, that's not that good. That's a bad trade for the Pirates. Good trade. Who got Taylor Rogers? Who got Taylor Rogers again? That's it. That's a good trade for the Cubs. That's crazy. Castro was still waiting on the return for him. Duran, Correa was still waiting on the return from Jax. Varland. Wait, I thought they got Varland. Stewart. It's actually crazy. I want to say that it's kind of been underwhelming. Yeah, it's not that good. I'm really disappointed in the Tigers. I know that they did something, but okay, I'm waiting on the returns now. There's not going to be any other new trades, but we're looking for the returns for the Correa, and we're looking on the returns for a few trades here. But I think all the new trades are done. We'll see if Finnegan's good for us. That's added some much needed bullpen arms. And Morton, we'll see if he does good. Maybe a little change of scenery will be nice. Yep. San Diego kept Dylan Cease. That's smart. Okay, now where's the Carlos Correa trade? Tigers made a lot of quantity trades, but not a lot of quality trades. I'd say the only quality trade they made was the Finnegan one. They got a bunch of past their prime guys. They got Varland. They got something else. That's a good trade for the Blue Jays. I feel like the Blue Jays did pretty good. I give that like an A plus. Wait, Allen, Rodon, and Rojas. Yeah, giving up a top five guy for that. I think it's a good trade on both parts. I give them both an A. Four young starter. Wait, here's the Griffin Jacks thing. Taj Bradley. Oh wait, the Twins got Todd. Wait. The Royals acquire Mike Yastrzemski, editor. Mike Yastrzemski. Royals are just, they're not doing anything. I don't know why they think this is changing anything. They're not doing anything. Not a good trade. Rojas. What about the Griffin Jacks thing though? Oh, that's that. All they got is that for Griffin Jacks. Wait, Jesus Rodriguez. Yeah, that's a good trade for the Yankees. We released this guy. Huh. My Ozuna would have been fun to see somewhere else. Fourth, Carlos De La Rosa. See, is he good? I don't think so. Nope. Mine did nothing. Giants undersold. Yep. I give the Griffin Jacks. I feel like the Twins undersold on Griffin Jacks and one other guy. I don't know. It's crazy how many players they traded away. They undersold. We're still waiting on the Correa and the Castro deal. I kind of think they undersold with the Griffin Jacks deal and Stewart deal a little bit. Yeah. Or just one of the. I don't know. It's crazy what's happening. Okay, wait. Editor, put this in. 33 million. I feel like that's good. I feel like that's good. That's they shed so much salary. That's good. How is that a fleece? Okay, I know this might sound like I'm a casual, but I feel like getting shedding money for a player who isn't good and getting a prospect too. That's I feel like okay, it's not amazing because you're still paying 33 million. That's still a lot, and I feel like for this to really be a good trade, because maybe you could trade this guy later if you held on to him and he was still good for less, and the other team has to pay less money. Or maybe you could hold on to him because he signed for like a long time until a future run. Who knows? Uh, maybe he'll regain form. But but I think you just needed. But common sense is to trade him away, and it's not even like you're paying a lot. This is a lot, but I don't know if it's common to pay the majority. But they're not even paying the majority of the contract. You still shed over like 100 million. Like let's see, 100. Yeah, there's the Astros are still paying 60. You shed over 67 million. That's a lot. Carlos Correa isn't good. Okay, I feel like maybe you could say, oh, they could have gotten more. They could have gotten more for what was I talking about? You could have gotten more for Correa or something like that. But no, he's not good anymore. He does provide value, which is why I think maybe they should have gotten a little bit more, which is why I think the Astros, this is not a terrible trade for the Astros because they got something of value that could be good. He's shown he can be good when he's healthy. But at face value, the Twins shedded off money for a guy that they didn't need, and the Astros are taking on a big contract, but they're trying to win now. I give it a B plus for both teams because I feel like the Astros got somebody he's not very good right now, but he could be good, and you could keep him for a while. And he's not what he used to be, but he could be good at a position of need when you're trying to win now, and you did not have to give up any prospects, any big prospects, so that's good. You didn't have to shed the farm system. And the Twins, they got rid of somebody they were willing to get rid of anyway. No, nobody was going to take him, and they still ended up forcing the Astros to pay 67 million of the wait 20, 30, 67 million of the 100 or 70. They forced him to pay about. They still forced the Astros to pay about 70 million of the 103 million dollar contract. So I think it's a B plus for both teams. Write that down. Mike Yastrzemski to the Royals. I still think that's kind of a nothing burger still. David Bender was a good trade though. Mariners had a good deal too, deadline too. What about the returns though for like the Correa and everything else? I still feel like we need the returns for a lot of the things. Like, what's the Willie Castro trade? Oh, wait, wait, wait. I did not see this. Editor, put this in. Editor, put this in. Editor, put this in. The return is double A pitcher Ryan Gallagher and Sam Armstrong. Let's see where they are in the Cubs system. The Cubs, if they got all those guys without giving up anybody good, then that's really, really good. Gallagher, their eighth prospect. That's not bad for Willie Castro. I feel like that's an overpayment for the Cubs. He's okay in theory, of course, a guy who's number eight in your system. He's not going to do, and a team like the Cubs is probably not going to do much in the majors, obviously. But in terms of MLB trade deadline standards, giving up a top 10 prospect for a guy like Willie Castro who's had one kind of fluky season is kind of eh. But I'm going to look past it because, again, in theory, it's going to be a win for the Cubs regardless. And also, for the most part, I think this is a guy who fits into their team. They need infield depth. They have good hitters, but they just need that oomph at the end of their lineup. It's good depth for the postseason who can come up big in clutch moments and can fill up a roster spot. Somebody else to contribute and just any extra production to lead to their division chase with the Brewers is much needed. I feel like uh, getting Willie Castro was a great trade for the Cubs, and I think getting a top 10 prospect is a great return for the Twins. I think I give this uh, A minus for the Cubs, and I give it an A for the Twins. But who's the other guy that they gave up to? I did not see the returns for the other one. Sam Armstrong. Let's see, Sam Armstrong. Is he in there? Nope. Let's see if there's any other returns that I missed. Let's see. What did the Tigers give up for Morton? That was a bad. They did bad on the Griffin Jackson, but other than that, I feel like the Twins sold off pretty well. There still needs to be some more trade details. We already knew that, bud. Legacy. Phantom. Wow. Okay, that was a deal. I feel sorry, editor, for me rambling. It's gonna be hard to edit. Holy crap. I mean, Brewers acquire. Wait, hold on. Brewers acquire Shelby Miller. Editor, put this in. Shelby Miller. I think he was good a while ago. Getting any, I feel like this is still too little, too late for the Brewers. They should have done more to hold off the Cubs. They haven't really done much this deadline, but we'll see. 37 games. Oh, what? There's no way, right? Oh yeah, he was bad last year for the Tigers, but how many 37 games and man, he's done good this year. He's done good. He has a 3.12 FIP. It's a very limited sample size, but this is a guy kind of like Stewart to the Dodgers. Like you could get a decent amount for him too. So I feel like if uh if they can get the Diamondbacks can get like a top 20 prospect, it's very very good. And I feel like this is kind of too little too late. It's kind of a nothing burger, but if he continues to pitch lights out, it could be a very under the radar move. For the moment, I give it like a B minus or a B for the Brewers. At the moment, I don't know the return yet, but it could very well turn into an A minus in the future. Now, I'm trying to see what they gave up. Scremshy, that's a nothing. Why are the Royals trying to buy? Huh, I don't care. I feel like that's not bad. Why do the Carlos Correa is not good? You're paying for what he was. That's a that's a good job dumping off salary. I mean, you're not going to be excited as a Twins fan trading away a fun player to watch for basically you don't get anything in return. But I feel like the Twins needed to do this a while ago. Their players probably even had more value last year. Wow, the Twins are going to be bad now. Okay, I need to see that. What about the Shelby Miller thing? Let me look at this. It might be ending soon. Kind of disappointed that the Tigers didn't do anything else. More than just Shelby. Chicago sees Nolan Arenado. What if the Tigers just made another like little trade, you know, a little trade? No way. Joe Ryan traded to the Red Sox? What? 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 No way. No, he did not. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He did not. They did not. Hopefully my audio is good for this. They did not do that, right? That's fake. He's on the IL though. Yeah. Dude, what's happening? Can't wait to watch the Lions game tonight too. Mission to always pass on me. Let's see if there's any more. I feel like the Brewers kind of dropped the ball. I'll go until like 7, 7:30. Been a fun time streaming, especially for the first stream. There was actually some viewers there. Still had a fun time. I'm really sorry to my editor that I rambled on for a while, but you know, it's okay. So disappointed in that move. That was so bad. Let me look at the recent Charlie Morton trades. Left hand. Okay, wait. Editor, put this in. The salary dump already was good. This I already gave them both like a B plus. Now I'm gonna let's see how good Matt Miluski is or Matt Mileski from the Astros. He can't be that good, right? If he's like top 15, then I'll be shocked. Not in the top 30. That's what I expected. Still a decent trade. Is he good? Yankees defeated the Rays. Yep, teams are looking different. I feel like the Rays just went all over the place, though. I don't, the Rays giving up stuff for other people. I just don't know the Hauser return trade yet, and I still don't know what are the Rays doing. The Griffin Jack steal. Okay, the Griffin Jack steal. Twins did a terrible job, but it was the end, so I give them slack. C plus job for the Twins. For the Rays, I don't know why you're getting Griffin Jacks, but I'll let me look at Griffin Jacks stats. Griffin Jacks. You still basically gave up nothing. 2 FIP? He's only wait. He's not. He's pitched 46 innings. He has a 2 FIP. That is what? What's the average whip? Is that a good whip? I don't know. Holy crap. Sorry for swearing. This is actually pretty good. What's his WAR? Negative point .1. I feel like he's kind of a nothing burger trade, but again, he has been good in years past. Look at him last year. And how old is he? He is 30 years old. 41, but I got 41 gold. He could be a free agent in 2028. So yeah, a few years of team control for a good guy. He has upside, but I don't think like he's good enough to where it's like, okay, this makes you a contender because it's a very risky high upside, low reward thing, high reward thing because, he's been shaky this year and he's 30 years old, but he is still under contract for not that much until for 3 years, and you just gave up a promising young pitcher that's in the majors. I'll give them that. The Twins getting rid of Griffin Jacks for a major league player who's young and could be promising and not just a forgotten prospect like these other guys are receiving, like the Carlos Correa deal. That is like the Carlos Correa deal. That is really impressive. But at the same time, you maybe could have gotten more like prospect stuff. But the thing is, it's still a decent player, and it's not like the Rays are losing sleep over Taj Bradley. They did a major league swap deal, and the Rays got the better deal, got the better player. But that's usually the case when sellers are selling. And to get major league players good, I'm gonna bump this up to a B for the. I'll give it a B minus for the. No, I'll give it a B for the Twins. I'm actually gonna give it a B minus for the Rays because even though if I looked on this on paper and not the team background, I would say the Rays are doing good, like good trade. But they're selling and they're buying. I don't know what they're doing. On paper, it's a good trade. They got the better major league player for Taj Bradley, but like, come on, like you did not need to get Jax. So the Twins could have gotten more, but they got good value for him. And the Twins got a good player, but I don't know what they're doing. Twins get a, I'll say Twins get a B minus. No, yeah, Twins. No, Twins get a B minus, and the Rays get a B minus. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm just grading right now. Jordan Montgomery. Whoa, and Jordan Montgomery. Who's Jonathan Quintos? This guy's kind of gave up too much for uh for him. Ash, I know he's not in our top 30, but yeah, I don't like this trade for the Tigers. You did not need him. He can make you worse. I give it a D plus, and for the Orioles, I give it a B minus. It's not going to do much for you, but it's getting rid of a bad arm. Jordan Montgomery, Curtis. Okay, wait. Editor, include this too. Uh, whoa, wait. Oh, we got this guy too. For a Dominican League guy. So the White Sox got Curtis. Hauser's good, right? Yeah, he's been good this year. I feel like he could be kind of a fluky guy, maybe not the greatest player. I feel like he's just having a one-off year, but again, this is for a one-year postseason push. So if you got this for good value, then that's amazing by the Rays. But if you gave up a bunch, like a bat, really good stuff, then no, no. What are you doing, Rays? Are you buying or selling? I'm always gonna rank the Rays trade the Rays trade. It's a little worse because are they buying or selling? Like what? They don't have a direction. Now, who do they give up? Curtis Mead. I feel like I recognize that name. Curtis Mead, Ben Peoples, and Duncan Davitt. He's not even in their top 30. Okay, unless they are. Did they already transfer them? No, they didn't. Right? Three non-top 30 pro. That's a terrible job selling by the White Sox. How many years? He's a free agent, but the Pirates got a good deal for David Bender. I know Hauser's not as good as Bender, but and he's kind of it might be fluky, but I never put this in. But like I know it might be a bit fluky, and he's not as good as David Bender, but not getting a single top 30 prospect for that. That's like a D minus by the Whites. I'll give it a D by the White Sox. Very bad job at the trades. And for the Rays, I'll give it a B. You got somebody good at low value, but I still don't know if you're buying or selling or not. I'll bump it up to a B plus. No, I'll give it a B. Why would you trade away the other guys then? Look at this again. Yep, that's it. Okay, now Jordan. I need to look at Jordan Montgomery's stats. Remember Jordan Zimmerman? He was good for a while. He's worse this year, but he's always gonna be like. Never mind. I was gonna say he's always gonna be a solid arm for you, but he's imploded this year. But if he regains form, he's a monster. If he regains form, you know that's gonna be a huge. That's gonna be maybe the trade of the trade deadline if he regains form because Montgomery at his full form is a number 2 or 3 pitcher on any team that doesn't have two aces. He's the prototypical number 3 pitcher if he's good. This could be a very high upside trade. And okay, usually when you are getting like two major league players in a non-blockbuster deal, the guy to get along with the good guy, the Shelby Miller guy, is like somebody super crappy. You get Jordan Montgomery too. That's a good deal at face value. Now I will say for the Brewers, this is kind of disappointing. All you do for your deadline, you get two struggling guys who are injury prone. But yeah, it all depends with how much they give up for him. Mitch Ashman. Matt Manning to the Phillies. Brewers send a player to be named later or cash. I cannot really grade that trade if I don't know the return though. Okay, let me see. Jose Quinones. We traded for a prospect that's not even a big. I might not even cover that. Exciting prospect. Kyle Finnegan is definitely the best guy we got, and if Paddock continues to be good, that could be huge. If Paul Sewell comes back for the postseason, maybe. But other than that, I'm kind of disappointed. We just got a bunch of just crappy guys. I'm disappointed with the Tigers. Very disappointed. Is that it? There's still, we got one viewer this entire stream. Matt Manning to the Phillies. Very disappointed with the Tigers. He's 18-year-old. That's not bad. Yeah. Yo, it might be time to end the stream, guys. There's nothing. There's actually nothing. The Carlos Correa trade stuff came back. I got the Willie Castro trade stuff back. Hauser trade stuff came back. We need the Jordan, the Miller stuff's not coming back. What trade is there even? I think I might have done it. No, good luck to my editor. Yeah, that's it. That is it. Mikey Scramshy deal hasn't came out, but I don't. Who cares? I'll wait like I'll wait like 10 more minutes. And if there's nothing still, then I'll hop off. If this is the end of the YouTube video, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Usually I'm not as improv as this. Usually there's a script. But, you know, if you want more MLB content over the college football content that I post, then make sure to let me know. Also, I am posting a Michigan offensive preview very, very soon. I'll wait like, I'll give this a 4 to 10 trade deadline for the Tigers. Big splash. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna end pretty soon, guys. Nothing's happening. Good trade deadline. Not really. A bunch of the trades happened before it. It was pretty crazy though, especially with the Carlos Correa. But again, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a blast. I love live streaming. I like the first one better because I actually had viewers. Not that I care about the viewers based on my popularity or money, but I love talking to viewers. I love that one guy who's chatting with me and he subscribed, I'm pretty sure. Thank you for that. And yeah, maybe I should live stream again. I have fun live streaming. The other stuff, it's a big tedious grind to plan. I love just like rambling my thoughts and just not having to worry about that stuff. It's just my raw reaction. I would have been on Twitter all day anyway, so I might as well put it to use, maybe feel productive, like pretend like I did something today. Uh, yeah, and my voice needs a rest though. I need to eat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this live stream. For anybody who did, I know nobody's watching right now. I'm talking to a brick wall, but who cares? Thank you to my editor in the future for editing this. Feel free to cut out some parts if you want. But yeah, I look forward to doing this next year too. This is a yearly tradition. Um, just like I did this last year too. Pretty sure, yep. So make sure to eat and drink water, eat food and drink water.